Hello, welcome to Sheepdog Says. Sometimes I'm not really sure what to record about, and then I go out for a drive to do a Pokemon raid or something like that, and the idea just comes to me. And today's one of those examples where the perfect topic just sprung out on the radio, and I thought, why haven't I spoken about this? I've written books about this, damn it. Apparently, sometime this week, I think it was yesterday, an alert got sent to nearly 8,000 people in Florida telling them that the state was under zombie attack. It's the most ridiculous thing. Apparently there was a power outage at whatever company it was, and somebody must have hacked their system during the outage. I say hacked, they just obviously logged in and sent a jokey text out to 8,000 customers saying that the state was under attack and Terminus had been hit or something like that, a reference to Walking Dead. And hearing this story come out over the radio, I was like, why haven't I spoken about my zombie apocalypse, plans? Kev and I have spoken about this at great length, to the point where when we were debating it one night, I think we were doing a podcast together and we were talking, and then he was saying to me my plans were idiotic because some of them hinged on the fact I would need to find a gun to help me survive, and we live in a country with absolutely no guns. And the conversation reached a point where I think we said to each other, well, what would you do if we finished recording right now and Kev used to drive me home from his, even though it was like literally a 10-minute walk, he'd drive me home because it was just a polite thing to do and he's being kind. And I insisted. And we were just discussing it on the way back, what we'd do if we were driving along and we just saw suddenly that there was army everywhere and zombies running around, and it all kind of unfolded, and what our first port of call would be. And it's weird thinking, when I was younger, I always just imagined that I'd stay indoors with food, let the things kind of escalate to a point where the worst had kind of passed, and then figure it out from there, or that I would get out and just go. I used to wonder when I first moved away from my mum and dad's, I used to imagine that I would be trying to get back to Essex to find them, because it was maybe me and my partner were the only people that I knew living far away, and I'd be kind of like, well, my wife would want to go see her parents, but I'd also want to see she's got two people here in Deeping that she'd want to see, but we didn't live in Deeping at the time. We lived in Stevenage, which is about, 80 miles away maybe. So she'd want to come here to see them, but I knew maybe 50 people in Essex, and it was kind of one of those, straight away I'd have a dilemma. Would I go north with my wife or my then partner to get her parents and then double back and try and get to mine? Would I go south and essentially awfully write off her parents, which I wouldn't do? It'd just be horrific to think, I'll write them off, bye, kind of thing. They live in a more remote area, so I suppose we could have gone down there and then travelled all the way up. But it used to just be one of those things that it wouldn't play on my mind like it was a constant worry, but it'd be one of those that, it's just a dilemma, something's happened, what would you do? It's a bit luckier now that we could literally swing by theirs on the way, because they're like a 5-minute walk down the road, so it's handy. This is why my parents should move up near me, because if the zombies come, we're all together. It saves me a journey. But I always imagined that we'd have to try and find family, and there's lots of downsides to that, because my family all live just outside London. So again, why would I want to go to a crowded city where basically, we've all seen Walking Dead and other zombie programs, they're the places to get hit first. That's where everyone is. That's where all the problems are. It's almost like my family would need to come to me, but I'd have no way, presumably, of communicating with them, because there wouldn't be phones, there wouldn't be, the infrastructure falls first, doesn't it? So unless I somehow just rang my mum and went, come to Deeping, and then hung up, and then the whole network went down, I don't see how I'd ever hear from them again, which it's a bit weird when you think about it. I'm basically stuck with the point of, you look at all these stories, nobody travels cross country and meets up with family and gets on these jaunts. I basically feel like I'd be stuck in Deeping, they'd be stuck in Essex. I'd basically, presumably, never see them again, because you'd never know. I could travel the 2-hour car journey, which is probably a day's worth of zombie world travel, and I might get there and they've already been bitten, or they've gone somewhere else. They'd have probably gone to Norfolk to see their friends, because they're obsessed with seeing their friends in Norfolk. My sister's in Wakefield, so she's gonna be coming down here thinking, oh, I'll stop here on my way to Essex. I'll have already gone. It's an absolute kerfuffle. We're screwed. So I think my plan needs an entire kind of revisiting. And what, again, as I've got older, has become the issue is I'm on thyroid tablets for life now. And right now I'm on testosterone gel for however long it takes to get me to a point where I'm boosted enough that I don't really get how that works. It could be that I'm on it forever, they take it off me and it goes. it goes bad again, or it could be that they get me on it long enough that my body feels strong enough that it does it itself forever. Either way I'm looking at it, I'm kind of stuck because I basically have to replace my pack of tablets every 30 days and I have to replace the tube of testosterone every 30 days. So if I'd have got that text, I think I looked it up, I wrote down notes, 1:41 a.m. they sent the text out to 8,000 people saying zombies had hit, and it took half an hour for them to say that it hadn't actually happened. But in that half an hour, if I'd have got that text that late, I'd have been asleep, presumably. If I wasn't, I don't know what I'd have done. I guess if I was sat here 20 to 2 in the morning and I got a text saying that there's been a zombie outbreak and whatever else it said, I think the first thing I'd have done is gone upstairs and woke my wife. I'd have put the telly on. I'd have thought there's nothing on the telly. I'd have been confused. But if in this scenario there was something on the telly, I'd have flicked through. At that point, I'd have been on the phone to my mum and dad, I think, to say, have you seen the news? It's 2 a.m, so I'd be waking them up. I don't think they'd answer, presumably. If they didn't answer, I'd probably be ringing Claire's parents, but I'd know we can get them on the way. If they didn't answer, I don't know who I'd be ringing, like my sister. I'd probably be going through a kind of contact list of people just saying like, you know, Kev, have you seen the news? He wouldn't answer the phone that late, although Anna might because it's going off at 2. She hates noise. I don't know. I mean, at that point, what's my end game here? Just letting you know the zombies have hit. All right, I'll see you later. They're just all going to be like, okay. They're all going to think I'm mad. I'm going to convince them to check the news. They're all going to be like, oh, blooming heck, okay. They're all going to be enacting their zombie plans that they've obviously spent 30 years thinking about. My next thought is, like from where I'm sitting right now, there's a supermarket like just over there. It's less than 100 meters. So do I go straight there, try and jimmy open their doors? Because at this point already, again, you're thinking, well, if I smash their windows, climb in and start looting the place, and then half hour later they go, false alarm, it was a joke, or they just, I don't know, punch the zombies in the head and they're all gone, I'm suddenly in prison for smashing the windows of a supermarket and looting the joint. But if I leave it too long, all the food's nicked because someone else is going to be brave enough to do it before me. But then I'm thinking, is food that big of a problem? Because I could probably find an apple tree and eat from that, and there's a river down the road, I could just get fish out of it, and I don't know, there's going to be enough allotments and gardens, and like, you can eat flowers, they're not poisonous, food's quite easy really. I'd probably get used to eating grass if it was that necessary. I've got enough food in my house that I'd probably be okay for at least a week. I forgot about that. I could have just eaten the food in my house. But right this second, I've only got enough tablets to last me 30 days. So I'm thinking there's a pharmacy probably, I don't know, it's less than a kilometre that way. 500 metres, it's really not far. So do I just go straight there, drive my car through the window and loot them for all the thyroid tablets they've got, all the testosterone they've got? I mean, I used to be an antidepressant, so I'd be thinking I'm going to have to get loads of them, otherwise I'm going to go through withdrawal, but I wouldn't bother. Although they might be useful later on when everyone's a bit depressed about the zombies. You start looking at other stuff. Does my father-in-law need inhalers? Will the baby need baby food? Should I grab some antibiotics just in case? At this point, again, it's like, well, do I be the first person through the door and risk getting arrested for being a lunatic? Or am I the 5th person through the door? And I hope that everybody else had, like, high blood pressure and whatever other issues that might have meant that they were also there. I just feel like they're the place. I mean, I think I'd go for the medicine before I go for the food because I've got food here. Whereas the medicine, I'll be ruined. If I wait a month till I've run out and then I've got to try and find them, the problem with having an underactive thyroid is I'll start slowing down and becoming more and more sluggish to the point where I think I would just be unwell. But there's, in theory, it could just keep getting worse until I sort of just slipped into some sort of coma or whatever. Like, that would be a long thing. But I've established I'd need to get to the sea because apparently seaweed has a lot of iodine in it, and iodine's what you need, and blah, blah, blah. And long term, I've got it sorted out that I could live a long time if I moved to the seaside. I kind of think I need to learn how to make the tablets just in case, because it's not just if the zombies hit. If there was a world war, if there was any sort of issue that meant that society kind of broke down a bit, I'd need to kind of know how to replace the tablets that I'm on for life. You know, I'm on them for the next 100+ years. If I want to live forever, I'm on them for infinite years. They need to find a way to cure this issue. I'm hoping that just losing a ton of weight and age will get rid of it, but I doubt it. I think it's only going to get worse. I feel like once let's assume I find all the tablets I need, and we've got enough tins of food or whatever, then I'm kind of like, what do I do? There's no point me getting in my car because the roads are going to be blocked instantly. We know that. So it's like, do I just stay put in my house and just think, right, there's only 3 doors in. If I just protect the place, it's all right. Looters are going to try and get in, but I don't know. If you just prepare yourself, set up enough of an infrastructure around it, I could put, if I keep thinking where I live, I could block the roads with the carts, and then there's only so many ways in to the estate itself. We've got a community straight away, and communities are always the answer. So I almost think that in England, the way that our roads are set out and everything, we'd be pretty set pretty quickly. We'd all hate each other. I mean, it'd cause like lots of disgruntled people and that sort of thing. But I feel like if I just stayed put, that'd be that. But I would wonder what the hell my family's had done. I used to think I'd go out travelling across the country, whatever, gathering to points and all that sort of stuff that they do in films. I imagined like having a backpack with, at the time it'd be Lamp Up and Bosco in the back of it, just on my back while I walked, my wife carrying whatever other stuff, the bag having like food and stuff in it as well as the kids, but thinking that was probably the most sensible way to carry them because zombies can't bite through the bag. I'd just make sure I was covered and then I can just trek. And she can trek with the food and that. Now we've got the 3rd kid, I'm thinking he'd have to go on the front and they'd be on the back. My wife would just have literally everything else, I guess, because that's the only way we could do it. We wouldn't be able to do it any other way. I wouldn't want them roaming off on their own. He doesn't listen at the best of times, Bosco, so you know he'd be zombie food instantly. My daughter's clumsy, Lamp Up, so again I'd worry about her. So I'm thinking I'd have to carry him. I wouldn't be able to focus, but then I'd probably be the sort of idiot who would get eaten instantly, and then they'd all just be legging it. And I don't know, maybe tying them to me is a bad idea because then the zombies have got a really fat guy and 3 kids to eat with basically an all-you-can-eat buffet. So yeah, even then I don't know. I just don't see the benefit of travelling. I feel like if I travelled in any direction, it would be the wrong one because I'd be either moving away from my family or further into trouble. I feel like we'd maybe just have to move into the Tesco's. We'd need somebody with a gun straight away to restore order by firing it into the air and shouting "Oi, oi!" and all the stuff like they do in films. Everyone's going nuts. They go bang, bang, bang. They're the king, and then that's it for the rest of the time. That's why I need a gun, just so I can fire it wildly into the sky, make everyone listen, tell them not to smash Tesco's, tell them to look after it, let's park cars all over the place so the car park's secure, and we can all just move into that. The food would run out pretty quickly, but I don't know, we could build shelters all the way to it. But I feel like I've moved into a good place. It's just I need to convince my family to move into better places. I suppose my parents are moving into the countryside, so they'd probably be all right. They'd probably be one of the safer areas. But again, all my friends and family otherwise live in built-up cities, so they'd be zombie food in no time. But yeah, I feel like there's not much to plan for anymore. I feel like The Walking Dead has taught us everything we need to know. All I've learned is I'm screwed. I'm gutted that I'll never get to go to Mars unless they really, really sort out the pharmacy situation on that planet. I promised my wife that we would spend our 50th wedding anniversary on Mars. I don't know why I promised it. I was probably drunk. But now I feel like it's unlikely that I'll be able to get there and back without having a hiccup with my medicine. Yeah, I'm kind of screwed either. I should probably just stand in a doorway and let the zombies come while my family flee. That would probably be the most beneficial thing I could probably do for them. They'll be like, it's all right, we've got room for you in the car, it's okay, we're gonna make it, there's a whole clear way to run. And I'll be like, no, it's fine, you run, I'll stop, I'm gonna sacrifice myself, I'm a hero. And they'll be like, no, you're not, you're just an idiot who's fed himself to zombies. But yeah, I'm glad that Florida isn't covered in zombies, because obviously I'm supposed to be going there in 2 months. They literally announced on the news earlier that there was a zombie outbreak in Florida, and that 8,000 people have been texted. And my ears were just like, whoa. And then they explained the story. So they're getting mileage out of it on the news here even. But that's not the first time we've had a zombie outbreak in America. So I'm slightly nervous that it's just a cover-up and a conspiracy. And I'm looking forward to seeing all the conspiracy reports come out. But yeah, if it happened while I was over there, I don't know what I'd do. That'd be a real pain in the backside for the world to end while we were at Disney. I guess we'd be in a pretty safe place because that's an island, but I don't know. I feel like that'd be difficult. That would basically put us at a severe disadvantage because I don't know how American pharmacies work. I don't know what the medicine would be called over there. I don't know how we'd get back to England, more importantly. And I'm not sure that I think I'd get bored of the rides if I was stuck at Disneyland for the rest of time. I just don't see Space Mountain having that much of appeal. Anyway, that's it in short. What I'd do in a zombie apocalypse. It's not that ironproof or ironproof. What, airtight? That's what I was trying to say. It's ironclad was what I was going to say. It's not that airtight as I thought. I'm pretty sure I'd be zombie food, or I feel like it would just pass us by. It'd be one of those things where we're like, oh, do you remember when zombies came and wiped out like half of humanity? Yeah, we kind of just built a wall and that's it. I don't really see why people would need to go that far out to get supplies and whatnot. Surely you just eat what's nearby in the supermarkets while you grow stuff, and then you wait for the supermarkets to start restocking, I suppose. I don't know. They'd be keen to do it, surely. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there because I'm just starting to recover it and lose it a bit. I'm glad, as I say, there was no apocalypse. I need to get better plans. Let me know your plans in the comments. There must be better options. As I mentioned earlier, Kev and I wrote a book about what happens if the zombie apocalypse broke out in Deeping, or Sapbury as we were calling it in the book. It does need a heavy edit. We released it on Amazon for a while and then we took it off Amazon because it needs a heavy edit and a tweak. Because I'd started writing book 2, just as an aside here, I'd started writing book 2 before we'd finished editing book 1, and I'd had all these routes out of the town that they'd taken and gone down, and then Kev rewrote the ending to have all of the exits out of the town blow up, so book 2 didn't work at all, so we just kind of gave up. We were like, well, yeah, I was like a third of the way through the next book, so we need to go back and edit all of that at some point, which you probably never will, because there's never going to be enough like interest. If we're ever world famous and everything we make is great and we can just do it and we can finish it as a vanity project and it's going to suddenly become massive, then it's worth doing. But right now I think it'd take us 6 months to make, and we'd probably make a fiver out of it like we did the first time, and I could spend that time, I don't know, sleeping, I suppose. Anyway, I've prolonged this by 5 minutes by rabbiting, so let me know your zombie apocalypse plans. Subscribe, comment, watch more videos, all the other stuff. I really appreciate it. Thank you for everyone who subscribed this week. I've had really good feedback about the Comic-Con video, so if you've not watched that yet, go back and watch it. And yeah, thanks very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great bank holiday weekend if you're watching this now, and if you're watching this miles in the future, have a great day tomorrow anyway. Thanks very much.